It was euphoric, it was just something surreal.
I was lucky the people that were next to me all hung on and came through.
I definitely feel proud to be part of that and proud to know the people who did it.
Do you remember how you were feeling as you were watching this happen?
Why you ask me that? Because I'm bringing tears to my eyes. In the early 1980s, I was Vice Commodore of the Cairns Ski Club. We were approached by a distant relative of mine, Ray Fry, who was related to the NQEA people of town who actually built boats in Cairns. He saw a TV show in America, and in that show, Americans had broken this world water ski record. So he approached me and said, can we organise some skiers to do this feat? And I said, well, no problems at all, we can do anything. And then he approached a fellow by the name of Reg Radcliffe, who was manager of Hales Cruises at the time. So it meant the marine engineers of NQEA getting together, who used to be naval engineers, to design the booms and the supports to do such an event. We'd go down the inlet after the boat would come back from its cruise and do tests to find out what was the best rope length, and did bollard tests with the boat. We had to buy rope, and ropes came in big bags of kilometres of rope. Then we had to get the manpower then to build the ropes. The first one we did was 54 skiers or something, which was the record. We thought, well, okay, we got to step it up. So when we did the 80, we started with 80 in the water, we got 80 up, and then we let it lay. We had the booms put away, and then they said, well, we want to do 100. And I said, yeah, we'll do 100. And then they said, no, we'll do 110.
The 83 and the 84 attempts were done with a 22-metre catamaran. Then in 1986, they used a bigger boat, a 30-metre catamaran, which gave us wider booms.
Because everyone water skied in those days, it wasn't hard to find people.
With the help of the Australian Navy, they gave us the use of their Navy base in Cairns. We put the boat there on a Friday afternoon, fitted it all out, put all the booms on with cranes, and it was a very, very, very big effort by all the workers of NQEA. But because it was a community thing, everybody got behind it.
You had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning to go, and if you weren't there at 6 o'clock, someone else came in to take your place.
All the skiers all walked in the Navy base, which you couldn't do today, and got on the boat and went down.
And they did a reconnaissance early that morning, and that was broadcasted as we were going to the destination to jump into the water, that the crocodile was in his normal position and wasn't in the water. He was on the bank having some sun. But we felt very, very safe.
I happened to be the youngest at that time, and I remember becoming really quiet and going, oh Jesus, I better not stuff up because there's a lot of people here and we're trying to do something special.
We walked out on the boom in groups of 3 or 4. We then jumped off the boom with our rope in our hand. Before long we had Murray Young giving us directions through a loud hailer, and not before long we were out of the water.
Inadvertently, we lost 10 skiers. 2 ropes actually fell apart. One of the skiers was a world-class ski racer. We flew her up from Melbourne, and her rope delaminated. So we got a bit of egg on our face.
It was quite simple. Get up, ski. You had to look after everyone that was around you.
When we went the first nautical mile, the girls had let off flares on the boat to let them know that they'd done the 1 nautical mile on 2 skis, and those 100 skiers kicked the ski off, and we skied away again with 100 single skiers. So, it was a wonderful thing.
And then we probably came down another mile or so to ski past the Marlin Jetty, where there were miles and miles of locals who'd come out to see what was going on.
We didn't think we'd attract that many people. They were like 6 deep along all the main wharves, and there were other small craft there tooting their horns, and people were yelling out, and helicopters in the air and fixed-wing aeroplanes in the air.
So I was on the boat because I was pregnant at that time. It was just unbelievable. It was really something spectacular.
No, it was a very, very emotional time. My wife, she'd wake up in the morning, she'd say, you did it 5 times last night in your sleep. I'd be yelling, get those ropes ready. So yeah, I lived and breathed it for 2 years. So when we did it on the day, it was a relief off my back, and it was a wonderful time. For Cairns, it was, yeah. I'm very passionate about water skiing. I've known Wayne since he was a little boy. And see what he'd done with his with his career, and yeah, amazing.
When I was in nappies, I guess my dad and my family were always involved in ski racing, going up to the dam and skiing, you know, having ski races out in the ocean, and that kind of continued for me. It actually grew to be my passion, so yeah, ended up competing in a few world titles and winning a few world titles in ski racing, and transferred over to wakeboarding for a while.
Would you say that taking part in that 1986 attempt, was that a bit of a catalyst for you to go on and do these big things?
I believe absolutely. It was so unique to be a part of something like that. I understand that it pretty much couldn't be done today.
No, number one, we'd have too many crocodiles now. It was about 15 years ago, I was down the inlet skiing with a very good friend of mine. It was his 60th birthday, and we saw a number of large crocodiles, and that was it for me.
Insurances and logistics and compliance and governance today would make it very, very hard to complete one of these today.
The world has changed. We were lucky that the harbour master and others went along with it. I think we've just lived in the best time.
You know, having all these 120 friends from it, I'm honoured. Yeah.